And then Ghost of Tsushima came out, and I was like, I got to play
Mm.
that. I
I've
gotta
seen
play
that.
that.
I've seen a whole lot of like trailers of that. That thing looks so good, man.
It's super tight,
If I
man.
buy that, it's over.
It
It's
is, man.
they're
You're
not
gonna
gonna
get
see me in the
sucked
gym
in.
for like a week.
Cause
I'm on. I'm
that's
on.
that's one of those ones that's a problem because you got
Yeah.
like free roam and you can. I feel like
Yeah.
those are the ones where you're just like, all right,
And
I
I'm one
gotta.
of those OC people. Like if I see, I have to complete every single side quest. I don't care what it is.
Me
I
too.
gotta clear that. It's like I don't know. It's like an
Everything.
internal like
Yeah.
achievement type thing. Like
Yeah.
when I get a game, I'm trying to clear like every single, get all the trophies, everything.
Everything.
That's
All right, guys, welcome back to the late night level up. I'm here today with my homie Tafon. We're going back
what
for
up. What
a
up?
little bit of ways. We're gonna try to dig into some of this backstory, talk about some of the awesome things you've accomplished in a lot in these last few years. Just since I've met you, it's been an exciting ride to watch. I got to be there for some of it too. Seeing you
Yeah.
train, seeing you fight, even at the amateur level and stuff like that. So I'm excited. I'm happy for you. I'm proud of you.
Thank you so much, man.
Yeah, everything you got going on is just super exciting. I'm also obviously always, where's it at? This side. I can't figure. There we go. Pro Maryland. Always pro Maryland, man.
Yeah,
If y'all are from Maryland, I'm fighting for you. I'm cheering for you and stuff like that. And
definitely.
you're representing us fantastically every chance that you get. So we appreciate you. And
Yeah, man.
yeah, let's dig into this thing. So
Yes,
where
sir.
were you not from Maryland originally?
No, originally I'm from Cameroon.
Right.
That's like the yeah, West Coast, Africa.
Where how long did you live in Cameroon before you moved to the States?
I lived there for 10 years because I was 10 when I came here, 2005. So 10 years
Okay.
of my life
So
where I
you used
basically.
to that? I mean 10, that's you so you still remember it pretty well then.
Oh yeah, I still have a
Yeah.
pretty good amount of memory, like a lot of stuff back home, which yeah, I reminisce a lot about that, man. Can't wait to
Yeah.
go back one day.
Yeah. I have you had a chance to meet um Francois at all? And Ben?
Francois? Oh
Yeah.
no, no, I haven't happened. I haven't had the chance yet.
Man, I'll have to see if I have to because he still trains and spars all the time. I'll have to reach out to him.
Okay.
Me and him have been tight for a long time too. I'll have to see if I can get him to come over for one of your camps or something. Excuse
Yeah,
me,
that would be
if you
dope.
got a striker or something, because
Right.
he's great to work with, man. Just
Yeah.
the nicest person you'll ever meet in your whole life too. Must just be
That's
something
good, man.
about the people from Cameroon because I feel like you're the same too. Fight your ass off.
Yeah.
Definitely not somebody you want to toy with, but
Yeah,
definitely some of the nicest people you'll ever meet too, man.
yeah.
He's got a heart of gold too, and he's got some stories.
Oh, for real? Yeah, man. Yeah, that would be dope, man. Always
Yeah,
looking for someone, something to add. So, especially he sound like he got some good energy too. So that's always a good
he
thing too,
does,
man.
man. Yeah, I think y'all will get
Yeah.
along great. I'm gonna reach out to him because he's always looking for. I think he's probably not fighting as much because he doesn't have as many partners to train with and stuff.
Hmm.
He would come out every now and then to level up to get it in with like Luther and Pat and
Okay.
some of our other guys and stuff like that. Monstrous leg kicks.
Nice.
Really good boxing too. He did some pro boxing too. He fought,
Oh, okay.
he fought Kovalev.
Oh, I did. Yeah, I didn't know that.
I know, isn't that crazy?
Oh, that's dope.
I know that's
How do you
fucking
do?
wild.
He won that one?
He lost to
Oh,
Kovalev.
oh, okay. Dang,
You know
that's
how
fucked up.
boxing is, man. They
Yeah.
pick the right fights a lot of times.
Exactly. Exactly.
But he's got great boxing though. He really does. He's a hell of a striker, man. One of the best people
That's
I've
dope.
ever worked with. Yeah, that's what's up.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna
I
have to
definitely
link
like to
y'all
work
up.
with him, man, for sure.
But yeah, he's got some wild stories too, man. He's got some. I think he been in a machete fight. He
What?
fought. Yeah, like he came up hard in Cameroon, man.
Back at home? Oh,
Yeah,
damn, man. Yeah. I mean, I'm
yeah,
actually surprised, but I know it's like a lot of crazy stuff like that that does happen. But like,
yeah,
I got out of there before I got to see
yeah,
any. I
yeah,
mean, I've seen some
yeah.
crazy stuff, but at that level right there, man, what the heck were they fighting
I
about?
know, man. And he does,
Dang.
he actually he does a lot for those that don't know, Tafon has a teammate Sadiq Youssef is also a monster in the
Hmm.
UFC, who does a lot for his home country.
Yeah.
Packs up a car full of everything he can fit in there and sends it back home. And
Okay.
I've
Okay.
helped Francois with that a bunch too. We sent a bunch of gloves, we sent a bunch of like
Yeah.
shoes and stuff like that too. So he does a lot of stuff like Sadiq does. Y'all will get
Yeah.
along with each other really good. I'm gonna have to link y'all up for sure.
Yeah. That's dope, man. Definitely
And
would
then,
like
like
to
I
meet him.
said, just great work. I guarantee you
Hmm.
he'll love working with you too.
Yeah.
Because he definitely needs somebody of your stature. Because like,
Hmm.
I'll show you a picture. I'll try to find it and pop it
Okay.
up on here when I post this. You can see looks like a little photo of us sparring and me like trying to get my leg out of the way. Couple of them
Damn, this is
joints.
some
That round's
monstrous kicks.
over. Yeah, man,
Yeah.
he's vicious. But you'll be
Nice.
all right. This is
Looking
shit.
forward to it.
I think when we were training, I was actually in shape, but that also meant I was like 160 pounds, and I wasn't ready for
Hmm.
those kicks at that point. But
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, really cool. So when did you start training?
It was like a little bit after I graduated high school, so like 2012 or 13, yeah, around there.
Okay, so you started at Crazy 88, like that was
Yeah,
your first gym and everything.
yeah, that was like my first gym. I saw that free trial and I went through, and
Yeah, man, that gets
yeah.
everybody. That's how Lloyd.
Oh
That's how I
yeah,
got Lloyd
man.
Lloyd's too.
Oh yeah, nice. Yeah, they started me off right.
Yeah, it gets you in there,
Hmm.
gets you hooked. Lloyd, man, I don't know if I'll have to see if I can find it. I'm sure you might have even seen it before, but he had the dopest commercial, and it had the music from Kill Bill to it. It was like
Oh, nice.
and it was vicious. Like people were getting judo thrown, and like
Yeah.
Jose was flying in and stuff like
Oh
that. It was
nah, I don't
yeah,
think
it
I've seen
was
that one, but that does
man, it
sound like
was
epic.
tight. And
He's pretty
he
good with the marketing and
oh
all that.
yeah, of course, probably the best ever.
Excellent with that. Yeah.
But yeah, this commercial was like you couldn't watch that joint and not want to go train there. I mean, you like instantly. I
Nice.
think he probably got millions of
Drew you.
people off of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure it's still up on YouTube. It's fire though. You'll trip out if you see it, and you'll know it.
Okay.
Mike. I think that's what it ends. It ends on Mike Easton doing a flying knee on a bob,
Funny.
like, but it looks like he jumped like 50 feet in the air. So you're like, oh shit. Yeah, it was tight,
Get you
man.
all hyped.
He
Nice.
got me hyped. Yeah, I'm getting hyped thinking about it.
Nice,
Uh,
nice.
so so then you fought out of there for a while. You fought out of Crazy 88. I know you did WKAs. I think that was where the first time I saw you was at WKAs, and
Right.
so you did a bunch of amateur Muay Thai too. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. A whole bunch of Muay Thai amateur, and then most of it was also mostly WKA.
Yeah.
That's where I got all most of my fights from. I did like regular amateur
Yeah.
separated from that too.
I always like the tournaments because um they can't get out of it.
That is
You
true.
know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
And I'm sure that's
Exactly.
probably been a problem for you over the years because
Yeah.
on the shows, people are no, 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 or pulling out
Mm.
and stuff. And it's like at the tournament, like we're already here. So you gotta
Yeah,
get your
yeah.
ass in that ring. That's what I love about the
Exactly.
tournaments. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. The time is pretty definitely cool, especially if you're trying to like get a lot of experience and
Yes.
build your record. So that's like
Hmm.
the main thing too. Like you said too, once you sign up, man, you stuck in there.
Yeah.
So
You
that's
gotta
why
be
I
super
like
soft
that
if
as
you're gonna
well.
leave at that point.
So yeah, I always knew. I mean, even though for like my division, it didn't seem like I didn't have as much
Right.
as all the other divisions, but like I
Yeah.
always knew at least I'll get something from there. So
Yeah, for
that's why
sure.
I definitely appreciate the WKA circuit, man. It's
Yeah,
really
they're
cool.
nah, they've kept the DMV area, especially, like they've been, I mean, that's we've taken our team there, had like, I think the most we took one year was like 13 or 14 people or something,
Oh
and
yeah, I stay
everybody gets
stacked in
tons of
there.
fight. Yeah, it's awesome,
Right,
man.
right.
And yeah, I feel like Maryland always does really good. Obviously, Crazy 88 always did well. Anybody
Hmm.
from Lloyd's, when Jose was running the team and stuff like that, and Tim
Right.
Woods ran a team there a couple times, and We've always done really well at WK, so it's a like you said, it's a really good place to go. And I mean, you can go in 0-0 and come out 5-0
Mm-hmm.
or something. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like you're a
Yeah,
different
yeah.
person at the end of the weekend. You
At the
know?
end of the day, yeah, you racked up some bodies, man.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the best part about it. That's what
You
I
come
really
out of
loved
there,
about it.
people are offering you title shots and shit because you're like, damn,
Exactly,
you done
right?
beat 6 people this weekend. Holy shit!
Uh-huh. Yeah. See,
Yeah,
I never got to the extent where I had like like those people who competed like have like 2 or 3 matches in one day. I really wanted to be in that kind of
yeah,
a bracket, but
right.
I ain't never really have that many opponents in my bracket. But
Yeah,
it seems so cool
yeah. It is.
to do that.
It's a good testament to the
Hmm.
your mental toughness too. I think you did
Definitely.
heavyweight, right? When you did
Yes,
those,
yeah, heavyweight, yeah.
Luther did it in 2014. He did in 2014.
2014.
Did well. It was weird because he actually signed up for like the 209.
Oh,
And they
okay.
somehow got he had two 209 fights. Was it two 209 fights or was it one? No, I'm sorry, I'm lying. He had one fight at 209 and he had one fight at heavyweight somehow. But we were like, yeah, we'll take it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Uh,
Hmm.
he actually, you know who he fought? Carl Robertson.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, that was a good fight. That was a good fight. It was
Yeah.
actually pretty close all throughout. And then Luther got a knockdown in the third round.
Uh-huh.
And I think that kind of sealed it up for him, and Luther won that decision. But it was a good fight, though. It was a good car. We knew
Oh,
I knew of Carl through. Actually, you know, we want to hear something crazier. I
what was
wrapped
that?
Carl's hands that day.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because
Yeah, I didn't even know y'all was gonna be facing
I
each other.
didn't know. Yeah,
Yeah.
he was friends with Mike Burke, who runs the Institute Muay Thai, and Mike couldn't make it on time or something like that. And he hit me up and he was like, man, can you wrap a couple of my guys' hands? And I was like, yeah, I
Yeah.
got you. And so I wrapped a couple of his other guys' hands, and they were like, can you wrap this guy Carl's hands too? And I was like, yeah, no, that's no problem, because I hadn't really looked at the brackets yet. Not that I
Right.
probably would have did it anyway. I'm not gonna let somebody go
Right,
out
right.
there with no hand wraps or whatever. But we got to the ring and I was like, oh shit.
Damn, man.
Yeah.
But that's pretty dope, man. That's like one of the main things that thing I find dope about you, man. You always like willing to help. Like especially like the first time we met when we were in WKA, like I still always remember that and I always gonna appreciate that
At the
when we went out to
Worlds.
WKAs, yeah,
Yeah.
worlds. I didn't
Yeah.
know anybody.
Yeah.
And like I was like, it was like, man, I was just, I mean, I'm already like super awkward, like socially. Until I get
Yeah.
to know you, then I get comfortable. But like,
Right.
you was pretty cool. You came up to me, like introduced yourself. I know Rico already hit you up, but then I was like, it was a whole thing in my head. I was like, damn, should I go up to him first and be like, hey, yo,
Yeah.
man, Rico said hit you? I was like, it was super awkward for me. But then you came up to me, approached me, and like it was like a nice energy. And
Yeah.
then the whole time over there, y'all took care of me and stuff. So it was like I always gonna appreciate that, man.
Yeah,
That was
man.
like a
You
that
know,
helped
like I
me out
said,
really much.
always gotta look out for the Maryland team.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad we did, because like, yeah, you know, sometimes like you said, the you can tell the energy sometimes right away. I know I'm like that
Right,
too.
right.
And like soon as we dapped up, I was like, all right, this is my guy. I fuck
Yeah,
with
yeah.
Tafon already. So yeah,
Hmm.
and I know it was obviously for the people listening that don't know. So I used to be the head coach at Crazy 88, and left to open my own gym. Not necessarily on bad terms. I just
Hmm.
had a different vision for what I wanted to do than the owner, Julius, did. And you know, the main thing was
Yeah.
it was always hard to get him to let us fight. So and I kind of I to me I was like, well, then it must be something about me. Like he doesn't feel comfortable
Mm.
like entrusting me with the fight team to make those choices and stuff like that. And I'm like,
Right.
that's okay. I mean, I can't. What can you say? He's the boss, you know. So I'm like, well, I felt like it's probably better for me than to remove myself and let him find somebody that he does feel comfortable. Because you know, I mean, the bottom line is, I mean, when I was there, and after I left, and still now, that gym has developed some great fighters, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
Right.
it's a shame for if I'm the problem, then let me get out of here because I'm like, there's a lot of people that are gonna miss out on opportunities to fight.
Hmm.
And I'm like, and at the same time, I'm like, I do know that I'm a good coach, so I'm gonna go somewhere where I can do my own thing. And
Right.
that was pretty much the main thing. So there was also, like I said, for the people that are not listening, it's also kind of like, are we allowed to be cool, even, that type of shit or whatever. But
Yeah. Right.
like I said, for people that have never been in that position before,
Hmm.
it's a little can be a little nerve-wracking because you got to
Yeah.
imagine
Awkward.
you're already have your normal fight nerves and stuff, and then on top of
Hmm.
it you're in a foreign country, and then you guys got to hope you don't have your regular coach with you, so you got
Yeah.
to hope somebody will be like step in and help you get through
Right.
that weekend and stuff. So yeah, it's a little crazy. And
Hmm.
yeah, definitely wasn't gonna let you go in there without somebody behind you and your back and stuff. I actually did the same thing
Yeah.
for
Hmm.
Ricardo. They didn't want. They told Ricardo, I think they were like, don't let Jason corner you or something like
Oh,
that.
what?
His yeah.
Oh,
uh
damn.
I know, which was crazy because I'm like, man, nobody. I took this kid to his very first smokers. Like I've been
Wow.
training him since the first day. Of like nobody here knows him. Like I know him.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Well, I'm
but
glad he ain't listening to none of that.
nah, Ricardo. Ricardo's gonna do it.
Yeah.
And so it was wild because I didn't corner him for I think one of his fights because I was like I didn't want him to be stressed. You know what I mean? Like it's not
Hmm.
about me, it's about him.
Right.
And then
Exactly.
his finals fight, for whatever reason, the coach that was cornering him, I guess, was just not feeling confident or something. And he was like, "Hey man, I
Hmm.
want you to like be the like main person in the corner." And I was like, "All right, I'm not gonna let my dog like go out there without somebody that's
Exactly.
got his back and everything." So yeah, anyways, long story short, uh um it all worked out in the end.
Definitely. Definitely.
And
Yeah.
we tore shit up at
Hell
Worlds,
yeah.
man.
Boy came
Uh
over there with the got the gold.
Got the golds. Ricardo, I think
Yeah.
Ricardo got double gold the year he
Yeah.
went. So I remember, and I do remember too. The weird thing about the WK Worlds, that the thing that I love that tournament. I feel like I'm always going to try to take my fighters to,
Hmm.
because I think getting that international experience really pays off big,
It
especially as
does.
an amateur.
Yep.
It's just like you're a different fighter when you come back. Like coming back
Yeah,
and fighting
definitely.
normal amateur fights, you're like, man, I haven't fought some motherfucker from wherever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, but and it was a situation you ran into, right? Where sometimes you get over there and there's multiple people in your weight class from the team, and then you got to fight them.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that was I didn't even know till like the day when we were supposed to fight. I was like, oh damn, I am supposed to go up
And
against was it Yuri I faced? No, it wasn't Yuri. I can't remember.
I forget his name. But I
Yeah,
fucking
the
forget
UFC.
his name. He was from Boston.
Yeah. Hmm.
But I remember it's so weird because like we're Team USA, we're all
Hmm.
like, yeah, let's go. And
Yeah.
then it's like, all right, we gotta fight each other. And it's like, oh shit. Well, now what do we do?
Yeah.
And I felt like a bunch of people, I forget the guy's name now too, but I felt like a bunch of people kind of like slowly crept over there by him. And I was like, oh, fuck y'all then. It's me and Tafon then. What's up?
Well, good thing I wasn't aware of that. I was just focused
That's
the
all
bout
you
that was
needed
about
to
to happen.
focus
So
on. Yep. Yeah, I felt like some people kind of were like not being neutral, and I was like, well, we don't fuck y'all
yeah.
then, man.
It's hard to be though. It's understandable. I
Yeah, of
mean, like,
course, for
yeah,
sure.
yeah. Especially
That's
if you
true.
probably already know somebody, known
Mhm.
somebody a lot longer too. So it's like
And
that's your
obviously, like I'm like, well, he's from Maryland, and that's my guy, so
yeah,
fuck y'all too. So
exactly.
it might have been me doing it more than them actually. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Um,
But also another thing too is like the WKAs was one of the first like little steps to me to like question myself and ask like, is this what I really want to do? Because once
yeah.
that little that price tag for that flight, because they didn't
Oh
help me
yeah.
for nothing. Their price
No.
tag for the flag and all the whole state, I was like, I think it came to like
Yeah,
2,500.
it's about
At that
2,500.
time, she that's like a lot of money for me. I
Yeah,
had
this
to
is super. Yeah.
I had to think real hard about that one.
Hmm.
And I was like, finally paid it off. It took me like 2 years to finally recover from that, but like, hey, it was part of the journey.
It is,
Like
man,
I'm.
and it's a invaluable experience. You know,
Mhm.
being a part of the team, having that, you know, seeing the world a little bit even, which is cool.
Exactly.
You know, I always tell people because we've done it so much with Aaron the most. But so we
Oh
went
yeah.
the year we went 2 years. That was the year we went together. That was my third year going to WK World. So the first year I had Patrick Rivera, Jared Tipton, and Luther Smith were there. Then the
Mhm.
second year was just my wife Erin in Spain, and then I went back with Aaron to Italy with you.
Mhm.
So yeah, we've been dropping dough on that trip.
Yeah.
I think in 2017 we tallied it up between me and Aaron. We spent $15,000
Jeez.
traveling to fight because
Uh,
we went to Belarus for
mhm.
IFMA, and then we went to I think Mexico City that year. We went to Florida for IKF. We were grinding that
Right.
year, trying to hit all the stuff that we could, but
Right.
that's how you get that. Sometimes you gotta, you know,
Yeah,
I
man.
always tell people it's like an investment though too. You know, like if
It
you
is.
want to become a professional at some point, like, and you got to shell out some money to go out there and get some experience that's really gonna, you know, prepare you to be a high level professional. Fuck it.
Def-
Yeah, we're
Definitely.
still paying off some of those trips too.
God dang.
But hey, you know,
Hey,
at the
part of
same
the
time,
journey.
she's viewed as one of the top
Oh yeah.
females in her weight class all over the world now,
Yep.
you know. So
Dr. Doom, the monster out here.
yeah, that was a good team that year. We had fun. We had
Yeah. I can't.
Brema.
Oh, Brimmer he was like the highlight of that whole trip though. I can't even
Yeah.
lie. He was
He's
once he
hilarious. I
got his
got to get
goal,
him
man.
on
He
too.
yeah, that's my guy right there. You definitely got to get him on there,
Yeah.
man. Once he got that goal, he made sure everybody knew about them joints. He put them
Oh
joints
yeah.
around his neck the
He's
whole
Mr.
time.
T out that bitch. He had
Oh
every
yeah,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
He
And he
was
well
loving the whole
deserved. He had like
experience.
8
He was
fights.
yeah, yeah, definitely. He was killing it too.
Yeah, he was killing it.
But like other than that, like to be honest with you, my Italy trip. I mean, other than the like experience I had with you guys, that was what really made it. But other than everything else was just like, I
Yeah.
don't know, man. Italy was a whole lot in my head was supposed to be a whole lot better than that.
Well, you know what
That
sucks?
hotel was ass.
No, that hotel was ass. And you know what sucks, man?
What's up?
So we had gotten a taste of it because we had been in that town before
Uh
when
huh.
Jared Luther and Pat were on the team. And what actually sucks even more, so you've been to Ocean City in Maryland before?
Right.
So that place, that's Ocean City of Italy, basically.
Really?
Yes. So you gotta think about it. So have you been to Ocean City when it's not summertime here in Maryland?
No, I haven't.
It's
Oh,
whack.
okay. I see
So
what you're
why would
saying.
you go though, right? But
Ah.
so that's we were there not summertime. So that's why everything is closed and like there
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
really shit going on. And what's wild
Right.
is the 2 years before that when we went, it was a little bit more open. Like there was like I think since they knew a lot of people were coming, they opened up some more stuff like near the venue and a couple other
Mhm.
places. But yeah, that place is like it's like a vacation town. So it's like
Oh, okay.
it's super whack not during that time. But yeah,
Mhm.
Europe's not as
Okay, that
tight
makes
as it seems in the movies and shit in
yeah.
general, man. Uh, we got on a train. So the first year we went,
Mhm.
me, Luther, and Trevor Rajan and Luther's wife jumped on the train and went down to Pisa to see the tower or whatever. So that was cool.
Nice.
Um, and that was like the most that we did. And a bunch of other people that year went to Florence. So the year when we were all there, I was like, I'm going to Florence this time because everybody said Florence was
Mhm.
fire, right? Get on the
Yeah.
train, go the fucking wrong way for 2 hours,
What?
and then I'm finally like, I don't know what's going on. We gotta get off this fucking train and figure out where we're
Yeah.
at, you know? And luckily we did because we were definitely going the wrong way. So
Oh, damn.
we get off and I'm like, all right, well, I mean, fuck it. Well, let's just go find somewhere to eat so we can be like we did something in Italy or whatever. And of course, the town we have to get on, I feel like was like the Baltimore of Italy. Like it was
Oh, nah,
super
man.
whack. Like and then
Yeah.
we went and found this little cafe And I'm like, all right, well, we're at least gonna get some good Italian food. Nope.
Nope.
They had nothing on the menu really except for pizza. So I'm like, all right, well, let's get pizza. They brought
Uh-huh.
us a frozen pizza. Swear to
Oh my
God.
God. See,
And it
that
was
was
still
my main
cold in the
thing about
middle.
that whole trip. The food
Yeah,
was some
it was
ass.
ass. I was so mad. Dog, I was so mad. I
Yeah.
was like, how do you fuck up pizza in Italy?
Pizza, right?
Then but so yeah, so the thing that blew though for sure was also the year that we went before,
Mm-hmm.
we were in like a little like in like hotel things similar to what we stayed in before. It just kind of looked like a bed and breakfast type thing or something almost.
Right.
Like 4 minute walk from there was this little restaurant like tucked away. It looked like a little house. And it was like what you expect to get in Italy, like home cooked, like
Yeah.
the most amazing food I've ever had in my life. No bullshit. So I was hoping we would find something like that near our hotel again that year we went, but we didn't.
Nothing like
That
that.
was
Yeah.
rough. Food was not
Yeah.
tight that year.
Yeah. So you were right. I just probably got to revisit it. It's better time than
Yeah,
the time we went
and
around.
don't go there.
Yeah. Oh no, definitely not going there.
You know,
It's not where I'm gonna
I'll
go.
tell you what else sucks. We went not to harp on this for too long, but the year we went to Spain, we
Uh
went
huh.
to a place called Benidorm, which I'd never heard of before. And then we realized why when we got there. So it's beautiful, like just real. It's a beach town, real similar to Carrera, like we were in Italy.
Uh huh.
Um, but it's like a British uh tourist destination, so it's like where all the like people from Britain go for some reason. So but
Okay.
every single menu at every single restaurant was exactly the same. It was so weird. And it was
What?
all they had, like you could get paella obviously because
Uh
you're in
huh.
Spain, but I think every other place was like weird, like beans with like hot dogs, like the shit that the British people eat, you know what I mean? It was terrible. There's no good food
Dang.
in Benidorm, Spain. It was fucking
Shit, that
weird.
gotta be whack as hell.
We were
Oh, that's
blown.
another place.
Yeah. Stay out of Benidorm
Another
too.
place not
Yeah.
to go to.
Put that on your list of not to do.
Yeah, not to go. Scratching that off.
So and then for MMA as an amateur, you had some amateur MMA fight. I remember you fought at Revolution because I think we were there that night
Right.
too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I had like three amateur MMA fights
Yeah.
before I turned pro. Yeah. Yeah, Revolution Fight Series. Yeah, yeah. I think was that my no, that wasn't my debut. Was it? I think it's the one I fought for the belt, right? RFS. That's them, right?
RFS. Yep.
Okay, yeah, no, that was my second
Yeah.
one. Yeah. I remember
Yeah.
fighting
Yeah.
for the belt for that one.
Yeah. Yeah. So amateur MMA. You fought in Virginia. So Virginia usually has like the pro rules where you can like pretty much throw everything, right?
Yep.
I know they switch
Yeah,
back and
Virginia don't
forth
care at
sometimes.
all.
Nah, they go hard. And it's crazy because if you did like 10, because I saw this happen to a bunch of people, if you did like 10 amateur MMA
Mhm.
fights in Virginia and then wanted to go pro on like CFFC in Jersey, Nick Limbo will be like, you don't have any fights. And they're like, what? It's because they don't. So, and because
Really?
in New Jersey, the amateur they have like a system where like the first couple
Yeah,
are like no knees and like you can't hit the head on the ground, and you have to wear like shin pads. And then once you get like
yeah,
4 or 5 of those, then they open up the rules a little bit more. And I'm like, so hold on, you're telling me that the guys that have like basically pro rule style MMA
yeah.
fights aren't ready to
Very,
go pro in MMA. So it's kind of a weird
yeah.
situation.
That
I
don't make
get
no sense to me.
no, it's really strange. I do like a lot of the stuff that Nick Limbo does
Hmm.
with the athletic commission in New Jersey, but that was always like a weird one. So then you basically you would have to like get a pro fight somewhere else and then you're pro, so then you can fight in New Jersey. So it's like a weird situation. But yeah, they like in certain states where they have like a unified amateur MMA rule set, they
Hmm.
basically don't look at the way they do it in Virginia as actual fights. They're like, no, they don't count on your record.
Hmm. Damn, that means I would have been in trouble. Now that I think about it, all of my MMA amateur were all in Virginia.
Oh, in Virginia, yeah.
So I
I
knew
mean,
nothing but that's how the real stuff.
yeah,
They
and
didn't give
it's
me no pads under that.
no, it's just smart. I mean, it's weird because I understand it in the sense that like we look at it the same way, honestly, even for Muay Thai. I'm like, I don't really want our amateurs throwing elbows without elbow pads because of the
Mhm.
cuts. And I'm like, it was
Right.
so get cut up real bad as an amateur Muay Thai fighter, and then have to take that scar tissue into your pro career with you.
Exactly.
But most guys don't, with for Muay Thai, looking at 20, 30, 40 amateur Muay Thai fights before we go pro a lot of times. And with
Hmm.
MMA, it's not as long. Like, I feel like 10, you're like, damn, motherfucker, when you gonna go pro? So I don't think that, you have to worry as much about um having to deal
Damn.
with the scar tissue and damage and stuff
Yeah.
like that. I mean, it still can happen though. So you are undefeated as an amateur in MMA, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Undefeated. Yeah.
Yeah. It made sense, man. Your striking was really good.
Oh
Uh
yeah.
Takedown defense is always on point.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. And I
Working with
think
the
that
working with the
felt
best.
comfortable.
Yeah.
Sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. Yeah.
I say, yeah, man. So they probably just felt comfortable letting me turn pro because of the extensive like Muay Thai uh, amateur fights that I had. So
Yeah.
once I did 3 MMA, it's like and it's also like super hard to find me fights. So
I was gonna say, yeah. And I know he's had over the years, he's had his, like, this is what you got to do, like, to before you go pro. And then
yeah.
I know with like DJ, I mean, if you even just use DJ as an example. Well, honestly, even probably even Sarge a little bit too. It's like they were like too well known at that point.
Yeah.
Who wants to fight DJ like as an amateur? He's a black belt, vicious, like multiple
Hmm.
jiu-jitsu world champion wrestler, and can box.
Yeah. Exactly. So
Like,
that
motherfuckers are like, nah,
super
I
hard.
need to get a paycheck for that. And then even when he went pro, that people were like, nah, I'm not doing that either.
Yeah.
So I think it does I think it does. I think coming out of Lloyd's, like, you guys are in a position where it's like good enough to go pro when he says for sure. And then at the
Mhm.
same time, like, probably gonna have to, because people aren't gonna want to fight you guys anyway.
Yeah.
You know?
That's a lot of problem. That's a big problem we had. Just
Yeah.
off of his name alone.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
We talked about him a little bit on the actually, I think I've talked about him on every podcast at this point, because he's played a really big role
Yeah.
in my um my journey coming up and everything. And I was saying, I think I was telling Jeff Quarles. I was talking to Jeff. We had Jeff Quarles on last week. He runs Triumph and Muay
Hmm.
Thai. Uh, about how, like, I went out to Vegas one time to go to the UFC, and was at the On the Mat shop, like, it's like off in the cut in the city there in Vegas. And the guy there, I came in with a Lloyd Irvin shirt on, and he was like, "Oh man, you train at Lloyd's?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Oh, that's what's up." And I, like, bought some stuff, and uh, he was like. He was like, "How'd you guys get here?" And I was like, "Oh, we took a cab, so we'll just call." He's like, "I got you, man." And, like, drove me all the way back to the
Uh,
hotel and everything. So,
that's dope.
yeah, nah, he rings bells, man. He's
Yeah.
his name is currency if you're with him, for sure. So,
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
and it comes from all that knowledge he has.
Oh man,
He's a bad man for
so
sure.
much, so much knowledge.
So I
Yeah.
know you got to travel with Angla for some fights and stuff too. What was that like?
Oh man, that was a dope ass experience, man.
Yeah,
Like, it had a lot of cool experience going to Indonesia. We went there, and then the last few times was all in Burma.
yeah,
So it's like being there with him. It's
yeah.
I feel like it's like a whole different experience. Like if I would have gone there by myself,
Right, of
get
course.
a little bit of taste of that superstar status.
Yeah,
It's like, man, it's crazy, man. Like when you go to
yeah.
Burma and you like just stepping out of the airport, like right there, once one person recognizes him, it's over. Like
Damn.
even while we're going through the security will stop to take a picture with him, forget their job. I'm like,
Yeah.
hold up. So I could just take
I'll
like
just
bring
slide
like
past with these guns.
yeah, right. I could just import like some drugs or whatever, and they wouldn't even care. And it's like everybody there loves him, and like
Yeah,
genuinely, it's like it was super awesome to see that and get to experience that with him, especially
yeah,
like being known from like where he came from. I mean, I wasn't there like in the beginning, but like coming in, he's one of my first coaches, and like
yeah,
I've seen like his blow up story, and then
yeah.
being able to be there and like be in that environment. It's like, man, it kind of boosted my my love of this game, and like also like my future, looking forward to
Yeah, I
where I
bet.
can be, being able
Yeah.
to see that.
Probably start
So
thinking
man,
about, all right, man, this is gonna be me in Cameroon one day.
exactly, you know what I'm
I'm gonna put
saying?
on for him. Yeah, for sure.
Exactly,
That's
exactly. So I
dope. That's
definitely
really dope.
appreciate him for having me around him with when all of that. That definitely gave me like a insight on a
Help
lot of
gave you
different
some
things.
vision, something to
Exactly.
look at. Yeah.
Right.
Man, all his hit all that stuff like makes me so happy, man, because you know, obviously was with him early on, and I remember the first time we had only been, I think I'd been working with him for like 2 weeks, and he was like, "Hey, can you corner me for a fight?" And
Man.
I'm like, "Yeah, I got you." I was like, "When is it?" And he's like, It's in like 2 weeks." I was like, "What?" I was like, "All right, let's go, fuck it." And
Yeah.
I forget the guy's name, but he had the guy who had fought in the UFC and stuff, and I guess had got cut, but was like kind of working his way back up, and um we drove all the way out to like Gary, Indiana, like right outside Chicago, like drove
Hmm.
all night. Um
Damn.
and yeah, he got the guy with a 10-figure guillotine like super quick in the beginning of the fight. It was awesome. It was awesome. And then it was just on from there, man. Me and him, uh I took him to every fight. I was like his
Hmm.
road dog back then, like drove him to weigh-ins,
Nice.
helped his ass cut weight
Whew.
many times.
Yeah,
Uh
yeah.
I felt like we were always had one little extra pound right at the last minute. It was always a little frantic, crazy. Never, and a lot of times not his fault. Just, you know, the situation he was in, like,
Hmm.
you know, he had a lot of responsibilities that he had to take care of at the gym.
Definitely.
They kind of came before his training sometimes, and it was I know it was a frustrating time for him and stuff like that. So I always tried to
Right.
do whatever I could to help him get through those last pieces. And yeah, we had, man, that was my boy. I honestly, I think that was probably the toughest part for me making that choice to leave
Yeah.
88 was I knew I didn't really expect anybody to come with me. You know, I didn't want to be the guy to be like, all right, I'm going. Everybody's coming with me. Fuck y'all. You
Right,
know, I didn't want, because
right.
honestly, I need. I'm one of these days. I'm gonna sit down and tell this full story on here
Okay.
because I think
Yeah, yeah.
people would be
That'll be
interested
some
in.
dope. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's a wild story, man. I think people would get a kick out of it for sure. Because there was
Yeah.
some, it got crazy a little bit at the end. Not nothing crazy, but just a
I'm
lot of.
waiting for that episode.
Yeah, man. All right, I'm gonna have to drop it then. I'll have to drop it. I'll have
I'm
to
waiting for that episode.
sit down just banging out solo one day. Maybe I'll
Uh-huh.
have Ong on and we can go through it together.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
yeah, so yeah, that was probably the toughest part because I initially when I was leaving, I was actually going to I can say a little part of it now. So I was actually going to buy Ivy League. Are you familiar? You
Oh,
know
okay.
Ivy League?
Yeah,
So
yeah, I
I
know I believe it.
Yeah, of course you know Ivy League. That's right.
Hmm.
So that was what was supposed to be happening at first, and then, um, which I was so for my first thought was to go to Towson. That was where I initially was going to do. I was going to go to Towson, and then I was like, okay, I'll be in Towson, but I'll still be TLI Crazy 88. We'll all, you know, and I can
Hmm.
still train the fighters if they want to come over here. They can come get work in, stuff like that, and I can help out however they need me to. Um, and then it came up the opportunity to potentially buy Ivy League, so we were working on that, and then that got weird. I'll tell all that stuff on another podcast, obviously. And but
Okay.
during that process, I had also started looking um, at a location in Bowie, which was where I ended up, though the one that you had been to come
Hmm.
spar with Luther the one time or whatever, and because I wanted to move a bulk of the people from Ivy League there, just because I like that um
Location.
location better. It was just a better spot, I thought.
Right.
So, anyways, then it all fell apart, and so like I said, initially, I in my brain, I was like, I'm just gonna be another gym in the TLI family, but with the way things fell, it just it was what it was, and some people decided they didn't want me in there anymore. So I was like, all right, well,
Hmm.
I was like, I'm in here now. I got to do it, And
Right, right,
that was like one of the toughest parts for sure was uh basically knowing that me and On were gonna kind of have to split because I literally, I mean, up until 2013, I mean, from 2008, I guess, to 2013. So what is that? 5 years. It was just me and him. I was at all his fights. I took him everywhere, drove him to the weigh-in, stayed in the hotel with him overnight, got up in the morning, held pads, wrapped his hands, was his pad guy, was his sparring partner for most of his fights half the time.
right.
Yeah, so that was rough. And then what I think the main thing too was like, I can't, what am I going to do? I was just starting a business, so I couldn't be like, all right, just come over here and I'll pay you
Right.
what, I didn't have Julius money.
Got you.
I still don't have Julius money. That
Yeah,
motherfucker's
yeah.
he's a beast with that shit, man.
Yeah, yeah.
He knows what he's doing when it comes to that.
Trying to
So
get that money, man.
yeah, that was tough, man. That was probably one of the hardest things that ever happened, because I at the time I kind of felt like nobody cared as much about his career,
Mhm.
and not that, like, not obviously, not that I give myself any credit for it, but I had a feeling if I went to Level Up and started producing some results, it would kind of
Yeah,
force them to be like, we can't, we need to make sure that he
definitely,
doesn't
yeah.
do better than us, and but it would kind of force us both to keep trying to
Yeah,
keep going,
compete.
keep trying to level up,
Yeah, got
uh
you.
and it worked out. I feel like it worked out for everybody. Jamal came on board and has been crushing it with all you guys, and has really been a force in as another coach here in the Maryland area and stuff like that. Has been just,
Yeah,
all you guys have been just crushing it with Jamal. And then obviously, Ong went to one and has had an amazing career there,
yeah, man.
got to realize his superstardom for real over there
Yeah,
and everything. So
superstar. I'm
everything
not
worked out.
everything worked well, man. Now I'm looking forward to the you and Ong episode. That's gonna be some juicy stuff in there.
Yeah, man, I talked to him a while ago about coming on, and he said he's definitely down. His schedule's probably kind of crazy, and I
Oh
actually
yeah, man.
booked everybody. I surprisingly booked a lot of people, and I just kept asking people and wasn't really expecting everybody to
Hmm.
say yes. And then everybody said yes. And I was like, I looked at the
Oh
calendar.
yeah,
I was like,
man.
shit, we got people all the way through April. I was like, let me slow down a little
Hey.
bit. So yeah, so now now I got to start reaching out and filling out the last couple slots for April. I'll definitely gonna
Yeah.
try to get on if he's got time for it and stuff.
Hmm.
So yeah, so I know, so you're at AD for a while, and then you kind of started focusing more on training at Lloyd's. I know you'd been kind of, everybody, for those that don't know, uh there's a bunch of gyms in the Team Lloyd Irvin community, even in this area. And then there's a lot of gyms that are just kind of like under the wing a little bit, even, you could say, where that's kind of like the HQ, and everybody goes there to like get their training in, um, especially when there's fights coming up and stuff like that too. So you had already been going over there to like train and get your work in and stuff like that. And then, but over time, you eventually kind of focused all your work there, right?
Yeah. Eventually, the first was like um, I remember getting invited over to start sparring over there because I
Mhm.
guess that was like the next like step or level up
Yeah.
and all of that. And yeah, so went down there a couple of times, and then like eventually down the line, once Coach Jamal made the full transition over there, it just yeah, I wanted to go where I can get the best of what I can get,
Yeah.
and so made the transition because Master Oil was already over there, so it was like
Right. So
once
that's a no
everything happened,
brainer.
it's like
Yeah.
yeah. And I also this joint is actually like freaking 10 minutes away from my house, and I
Yeah.
didn't find out about it till like 3 years into '88.
Oh, that's crazy.
So
So
it's
you
like
so
yeah,
you
yeah,
live so you live closer to Camp Springs than 88?
yeah. This is legit like 10 minutes from
Oh,
my
that's
house,
wild.
Lord
So
Irvin, and then but
how did you find 88? Just through the marketing?
Yeah, just the ads. I was just
Pops,
laying in
yeah,
bed,
he's
that
got them
jump popped
ads
up.
everywhere, man.
Uh-huh. And I
Yeah,
saw that. I was like,
he's good
okay,
with that.
cool.
Yep,
Yeah, went and checked it out, and then
that's
yeah,
crazy.
started there until like 3 years later. That's why sometimes I think to myself, like, damn, man, what the heck?
Yeah.
Because the drive from here to there is like an hour, sometimes hour 30, depending on the
Oh
traffic.
yeah. Fuck.
Making that trip like for like 3 years, and then now it's like I just wake up. I don't have to be in a rush. Grab my stuff
Roll
and
out
go
of
to the
bed, put your
gym.
shoes on. Yeah.
Exactly, you know.
That's dope
But
though.
it's
That's
like
good.
it's part of my journey, so it's like
Right.
I ain't mad about it. I ain't mad at all.
Because that's, I mean, that's where you really connected with Jamal too, right?
Yeah, exactly. And that's
And
where I actually like fell in love with actually doing it. So who
yeah.
knows what would happen if I would have started over here first. So
Yeah, I think that's important, man. No matter what, I mean, the time we spend in places, it becomes a big part of what we do. Like, so, like, at in 5 years at Crazy 88, I coached 37 fights in 5 years. Um, so when we and like I said, that a big part of that was, me going to Julius and being like, "Hey, can we do this?" And then being like, "No." I'm like, "All right, shit." And then, um, and honestly, 37 of those 37, a lot of those are smokers, so they're not even real fights. You know what I mean? So I'm talking about
yeah.
including smokers. Uh, so when we opened up Level Up, we had 55 fights our first year. So I'd almost
Sheesh.
doubled the amount of fights
Mm-hmm.
um at Level Up in the first year that I had and that I'd cornered in 5 years at Crazy 88. And it's made me a completely different coach than I was at Crazy 88 because I have, it's like a general, like if their first battle, they're kind of like, oh shit, but once you have 55 of them joined, you're like, hey,
Yeah.
you go there, shoot these guys. You know what I mean? Like, you're just like, you fucking love that shit.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like
Exactly.
the
You in it.
tournaments and stuff like that. I'll see people like, it reminds me of that scene in, Saving Private Ryan where everyone's like freaking out and Tom Hanks is just kind of like cooling or whatever. And I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, I love this shit,
Yeah. You you about that life.
You've been to the battle so many times. Like I feel
Exactly.
Lloyd's one of those guys too. He's got so many hours logged in the corner of MMA and jujitsu or whatever. Like he looks like he could
Hmm.
do it in his sleep, and he probably
Yeah,
could.
man.
It's a different thing, and that was one of the things that I felt like I was trying to explain to Julius is like, I'm like, man, I even as an employee, as a coach for your gym, like I need these reps. I need these reps at the ring because this is how I'm going to get better too.
Exactly. Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
and then, like when you have that, like I said, like with Lloyd and I feel like Jamal's got it too. Like you get those certain coaches that have been to the ring so many times, like they also are able to get people better faster 'cause they
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
like, this is what you need to
Got,
do, and it's battle tested, you know what I mean?
yeah.
And it's
They
been
already got
shown.
the
Man,
blueprint.
y'all been crushing it, man. I was so excited
Yeah.
to see, you get where you get. We'll kind of cruise through that now too. Pro debut on Shogun?
Pro debut, like altogether, it will actually
I mean,
be a
for
lion
MMA,
fight.
sorry. Yeah,
MMA.
for
Oh,
MMA.
MMA. Okay, pro debut. Yeah, that will be a CFFC actually.
You did CFFC first, okay.
Yeah, CFFC first. Yeah. And it was
Um,
funny. My pro debut, I was co-main event. I was like, oh dang, we out here.
who did you
Yeah.
fight for for that?
What's his name?
You remember?
Damn,
Or
I'm
do you remember
horrible
where
with
he was
names.
from?
I'm pretty sure he was from either Delaware or Connecticut. No, it
Okay,
wasn't
cool.
Connecticut. Where do we fight?
It wasn't
It
a
had to be
Jersey guy.
Delaware.
Okay. Was it in Delaware?
Um, yeah, it was in Delaware.
Okay.
Pretty sure that was it. So damn, I'm horrible with this.
Nah,
Keeping
that's all
track of
good.
this.
Don't even stress.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So,
But
yeah, because I know I've been dealing with CFFC since Ong. I used to take Ong there to fight.
yeah,
Ong fought there, fought for them a bunch of times. So I've always had a lot of love for CFFC. They're definitely one of the premier shows here on the East Coast, and
yeah.
obviously are getting people from there to the next one, to the next level, UFC or Bellator.
Hmm.
So that's definitely the place to be if you can get there. But You got to be able to fight because they don't. They're putting killers against killers in there. So the people that are coming
Definitely.
out of CFFC are like
Yeah.
they're the ones. You know what I mean? They're going to be the ones that I definitely think are going to go on and do something, which clearly
Oh
worked out for
yeah.
you because you went on to do what you did. So I understand. So you fought for
Mhm.
CFFC. How many pro fights did you have before the Contender series?
Had three.
3. Okay.
Yeah. Both.
MMA
Oh
though,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
MMA. I had
Um,
yeah, three MMA joints.
you fought 2 CFFC and 1 on Shogun.
One on Shogun. Yeah.
Right, right, right. Yeah, the Shogun fight
Yeah.
was awesome too. I remember
Oh
that one
yeah.
was a good one.
Yeah, I love Shogun promotion, man. That was a very, very nice experience.
Shogun is
It
tight, man. Shogun
is.
is tight. If Shogun, the only thing it makes Shogun successful, and it also holds Shogun back a tiny bit, is it's
Mhm.
always DMV versus DMV for the most part.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah.
but obviously that's why he's also able to like almost sell out the Royal Farms Arena though too, because you
Definitely.
that shit is packed. Production
Fighting in
value
there.
wise, man, it's
Mhm.
it's lit at Shogun.
It is,
Um,
yeah.
I love Shogun too, man. I'm always excited to have people on. I'm always excited to even just be there and watch all the fights.
Yeah.
It's tough only like I said because people aren't so like obviously on CFFC, it's like, well, this guy's from Jersey, this guy's from here. These are like solid regional guys. Like, let's see who's the best. So I feel like they get more attention from like a UFC or a Bellator or something like that because they're
Mhm.
and
Reaching
it's
out.
unfortunate that I feel like they're because Shogun in a way almost is a little bit more of a regional show. Like they're not checking for fighters as much from there, which is crazy because if you're looking at some of the people that have come out of there now, it's like
Oh
they're going
yeah.
to the UFC
You got
too,
some killers in there.
motherfucker.
Yeah,
Like so.
exactly.
Hopefully that changes over time. And like I said, I think I literally only because from the outside in when you see the Maryland, Virginia, like I've like if you see the states, I feel like they're probably like, oh, that's just like a regional show. I'm like, come to this motherfucker and watch it first of
That's
all live, see the
yeah.
fights and stuff like that. It'll change your mind about it for sure.
It's always a good time watching the fights over
Yeah, man, we've had
there.
um some exciting fights on there. That's where I feel like Sadiq went viral on that joint with the
Oh
little
yeah, that
shimmy.
little shimmy joint. That was dope. I remember that fight. That was he definitely blew up from that joint right there. He
Yeah,
made I think that was his debut, right? Yeah, yeah.
I think so.
He
Yeah.
did that on his debut. I
He's
remember when I made
he's
my
a
debut, I
bad
was
dude.
trying to be like, you know what, I'm gonna try to up him.
Yeah, that's the
I
thing.
didn't I
You
didn't
got some once some stuff like that happens, you're like, all right, I got to come up with a good something in there to,
Yeah.
you got to get on
I,
now.
I still
Uh,
ain't doing nothing like that yet.
yeah, elevating the level of the win a little bit. Yeah, that was
Exactly.
fire. I was, I was, I think I cornered somebody that night. I think maybe Patrick fought on that card, I believe, or maybe Micah. Somebody fought on that card that night, and then I'll always go stand like right in the area just outside the cage or whatever, so I can be like right up on the fights and stuff. So I was like right there. I was like, oh shit. Yeah, that was
Nice.
tight. That was super tight. Uh and Pete, Peter Pettis, another one of
Yep,
these
yep.
guys, training partners. Also was a student of mine for a while too. I had the pleasure of training Peter, one of my favorite southpaws in the world.
Mm-hmm.
He's
Dude,
had some
fast.
he's had some awesome fights, man. I'm telling you, he's another guy that's just one, you know, another big win away from getting on
Oh yeah,
too,
definitely,
man.
man.
He's vicious
Yeah, that's
too.
hey. Once he makes that pull into the UFC, man, people are gonna see.
Yeah.
They don't know what's coming. It's about to be a lot of people getting getting their shit rocked.
Yeah, man. Flying
Yeah,
knees, spin kicks, man. He's
yeah.
uh
He got such
he's
a
a
nice
hell of a
arsenal.
he's a hell of a fighter. Yeah, I remember I had him and my wife Erin and Jared Tipton. I remember taking them to their like I think Pete actually had already had some MMA fights, but then I was just trying to help him just tighten up his
Mhm.
striking a little bit. So we had him do a smoker, and they had a really good day, the three of them. I feel like Pete went out there and got busy, and then he kind of got like Jared and Aaron hype, and then they got busy and stuff like that. So
Nice.
yeah, super mad love for Pete as well too.
Yeah.
So then I know you had the fight on CFFC with William Knight, and that was a big fight because William had a lot of attention, you know, on him as well too.
Mhm.
Because he had been doing it, kind of came up similarly as well. He had, you know, he had been doing WKAs. I know he did some MMA fights there too.
Right.
Um, had been doing real well on the regional scene. Definitely he had more fights than you at that point too, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. I think I actually remember William Knight because it was the New York WKAs.
Uh-huh.
No, I think I've seen him in a couple of WKs. I remember like always like picking him out of the crowd without even noticing it. I was like, because he was already ahead of me. I think at that time I was still like novice. He was in the
Yeah.
open
Yep.
division.
Yep.
I was looking. I remember watching a couple of stuff. Like at first I was super intrigued because when you first see him coming through, dude is jack walking around like,
Yeah.
damn, okay. That guy got beat my division. I might have to
Yeah.
face him. But then he was in the open, and I watched one of his fights, and I remember I was like, okay, cool, cool. I see what I got to work with.
Yeah. You're like, I'm
And
gonna
then I
see him
think
one
I
day.
went back to watch. Yeah, I feel like, yeah, we definitely gonna meet one day.
Yeah.
And it actually came to happening, but
It's wild how that happens. Yeah, that's the other thing that's kind of cool about WK is like you start spotting people in the crowd. You're like, that might be my guy, you know.
yeah.
That man, New York, fucking New York. Oh my God. That was one of the craziest tournaments, huh?
Oh my god, man. Yeah, that
So
John was.
crazy. I had my guy Roger there that year because
Uh,
you know, what's funny is I, it's weird because I think I just hadn't seen William yet.
hmm
Um, because his teammate Paul Benagic and I are really close. Actually cornered Paul in Spain at WKA Worlds, and then ever since then we
Oh,
got real
okay.
tight. And
Nice.
he came actually lived at the gym for a month at the old location because we had all that extra room and stuff to get
hmm
ready for glory fights. I was training him. He's lived with us for a month and stuff like this. So we're like super
Oh,
close,
okay.
and that's his teammate. Him and Wayne. But that year in New York, I had my guy Roger Corbin there, and we saw him. I was like, "Yo, that might be one of your guys, Raj." I was like, "Let's keep
Yeah.
an eye on him." But yeah, they were in separate ones too. Fucking Roger had like, I think he did the like 190 whatever it was. You don't have all those damn weight classes, and he had like five people in his bracket,
hmm
didn't have one fight. Everybody left. Literally
What the?
everybody left. Like, cause you know, I got crazy in like the time, and
Yeah,
there
yeah,
was
yeah.
one guy,
I
there was
remember.
one big ass motherfucker left, and I was like, all right, Roger, I was like, we got this. We'll take this guy out. Don't worry. There was one guy that was like hanging in, but he came up and told us like, hey, I mean, I got a flight, I got to catch like on Sunday, and he was like, I'm
Yeah,
gonna stay as long as I can, and then he ended up rolling out.
yeah. It was that. That was like one of the. That was the worst one. I can't say one of the worst ones. Not all of the WKs. That was like the one I would say that kind of like almost turned me off from like WKA tournaments.
Yeah. It was frustrating. It was frustrating. You know what though? For me, because I felt like I understood why people were pissed about it or whatever. But I'm like, man, we came here to fight though. Where the fuck are y'all going? Like people were like,
Exactly.
I gotta do this. I'm like,
Yeah.
you paid all this money to because we had to remember we had to stay in that one hotel. I'm
hmm
pretty sure our show was like 250 a night or something like that. Uh drove up there, like all paid for the tournament. We were the last fight. We were Araceli Valenzuela, who's not technically part of my team, but I end up I
Yeah.
corner her a lot for like I cornered her in Spain at WK Worlds, and her and Aaron actually have fought the year previously twice at WKs, and then ever
Oh
since
dang.
then we were real
Yeah.
close with them. She's come up and stayed with us to train and everything too, and I've cornered her for a bunch of fights now over the years. Yeah, her and this girl Ashley were the last fight at like 12:30 at night on Sunday. Um,
Dang.
And then before that, it was Gary and this kid
Mm-hmm.
Wes Argro from Colorado, and then before that was my guy Chaz Cody and this guy from Canada. So we were like the last 3 fights of the day on Sunday and shit. But I was like, yo, we're not fucking going nowhere. Like we came here to fight. Whoever's
Yeah.
here, like we're gonna fight them, you know. So
Yeah.
yeah, it was definitely frustrating. The way it was run that year definitely got like kind of mixed up and fucked up or whatever. But I definitely was like, I was a little disappointed too by a lot of the people that were kind of just like, I gotta go, and I'm like, man, we all gotta work and shit tomorrow. Like, what the fuck? We're here now. Like, we might as well. You're gonna why? What's the point of sitting around here for 2 days and then just being like, all right, fuck it, I'm gonna leave now. You should have left yesterday.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was crazy,
Yeah.
but it was crazy. I
It's
understood.
understandable though. It's understandable
I
because
definitely, yeah, I
I'm
definitely
like someone who
understood.
likes to be on schedule, especially when I know how something's supposed to be, and then I
Oh
go
yeah,
there and it's just all out of whack.
yeah, it was fucked up. It was definitely that was a bad that one hurt that one hurt WKA pretty badly because the
Yeah, yeah,
attendance, that was probably the most people they ever had sign up, and then
yeah.
after that it was definitely a
I
little
remember the
harder
next one
to
after
get
that
people
was
back.
Delaware, and I think I remember, right?
Yeah,
Delaware
and
was
that
the
was
next
all
one
one
after that.
day. Yep,
Yeah, I remember that.
they did it all in one day because the New
Hmm.
York one was supposed to be for 3 days plus weigh-ins, and then the Delaware one then the next year was all in one day because it was not as many people signed up.
Yeah.
It was when our mutual homeboy Al Henderson uh
Hmm.
had to fight. He had to fight damn it, I can't think of his name right now. But this kid's got like 50 amateur fights.
Oh
Adam
damn.
Edgerton. Adam Edgerton he had to fight. And it was like the only guy Al had in his bracket, so he had to fight him twice. Uh, um, but Al beat him both times. You know, Al's a fucking monster.
Oh yeah, yeah. I was a monster,
Oh, you
man.
got 50 fights? All right.
He don't care. That 50 fights don't mean nothing. All I do is
Hell
add fuel
no.
to the fire.
Yeah, that joint was vicious. It was vicious. Those are yeah, they were good. It was a good. Obviously, I was a good. I think that like, again, going back, we keep going back to the tournament stuff, but that's the other thing that's cool. And I've pretty much always, unless I'm like they're really 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 not ready, I pretty much have always thrown my people into the open,
Yeah,
because I'm like, fuck it, man, just go out there. If you take a loss to somebody who's got 15 fights like you're supposed to, I'm like, if you beat them,
yeah,
great. Like,
right.
let's get the, because like if you're looking at it like, okay, I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna get 3 or 4 fights, but if you get 3 or 4 fights with people that have 10 or 12 fights, like I feel like it like
Mhm.
multiplies your experience level
Exactly.
tremendously. That year in New York, Gary had, I think he had two fights. He had a fight on AMTL and he had a fight on Warriors Cup. And
Oh,
uh
okay.
and both of those, yeah, he had, so he came in 2-0, and then he had to fight this kid. He had to fight this kid from Anderson's who had, I think, like 15 fights or something like that. And then he fought Wes Argro in the finales, and Wes was like 24-2 or something like that. It was really good from a really good team. So Wes
Yeah,
trains with like Corey Sandhagen, with like at the team like where Curtis Blades is at and all those guys. Like
right.
he comes from a really good striking gym. And again, Gary won that fight too. So I was like, so we came out of that, and I'm like, yeah, see, this motherfucker's a beast. This kid came in with 2 fights and won 2 belts that year.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, man, it's exciting. It's almost like gambling a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, all right, we're going
that is
all in.
true.
We come out,
Come
we
out,
might come out with all this money, or we might go home broke.
come
We'll
out
see.
broke.
You gotta believe in your playing skills. You know.
Exactly, exactly.
So let's talk about the Contender Series. When you got the call for that, what was going through your mind?
Oh, a lot was going through my mind because when I got that call, I was doing Uber. I was
Oh
working.
shit.
I had a customer in the car, and I think Master Lloyd hit me up, He was like, "What you doing?" But before I could respond to the I couldn't really respond because I was driving, but I saw it pop up on my screen, and like he didn't even wait after that. He called me, told me, "Man, we got the call, shorty." I was like, the call in my head. I was like, "Hold up." I already know what we were hoping for,
Right.
but when he said that, I was like, I had
You're
to
like,
get
the
him to
call
clarify. He
call?
said, "We got the call." I was like, "What?" I had to keep my composure there because like I
You're
had
trying to,
somebody
you
in the
gotta get out
car.
of my car right now.
Yeah, man. Hey, that's definitely what I wanted to say, man. I wanted to hit them brakes and be like, "Hey,
I'm in
yo,
the
man."
UFC. Get the fuck on out of here.
Yeah, that wasn't too far from that, but I had to,
Yeah.
you know, it was still on the clock. Had to be professional.
Yeah.
Wait till he got out the car, and then
Gotta keep
you
that
know,
rating high.
hell yeah, you know, I still have, I still got to make my money.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
ain't there yet. Yeah, so made the after I got that, dropped them off. And then I went crazy, man. Hit up everybody, told my mom, my brothers,
Yeah.
everybody. I was like, man, we fucking got the call. This is what we were waiting for. So it
That's
was
so
like
dope,
it
man.
was a dope ass man moment. I don't think I'll ever forget that.
No.
Yeah.
And you
So
had an opponent change too, right? And you had one guy originally and then they switched it up on you.
yeah, yeah, to switch it up. I was just happy I still had an opponent. I
Yeah.
was still on there. 'Cause,
Put whoever
uh,
in there. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Put whoever in front of me.
Yeah.
Because when that happened, man, that was the moment
And,
was there.
and I yeah, so and I feel like that, that does go back to um a little bit even what like I said, why I think it's important for you guys as fighters when you're coming up to challenge yourselves as amateurs and do those tournaments and do stuff like that so that you can have that confidence of
Right.
okay, here's the biggest opportunity in my life. Give me whoever, because I'm trying to
Hmm.
go out there and do what I do and show everybody why I belong in this
Yeah.
next in this next step, which would be the UFC. Um, and I know
That's how
you've
you
had
should.
that because
Yep.
you've been fighting whoever they'll put in front of you since you started. I've seen it. I've witnessed it. Um, so then you win the contender series and then you go back on the grind. So what's next? What was next right after contender series? Are you waiting just on them to kind of like book a fight for you and stuff like that?
Yeah, right after the contender series. I didn't stop like training after that. I went right back in the gym.
Hmm.
Because I was like, man, I was trying to
Be
get my
ready.
fight booked as soon as possible and be
Yeah.
ready because at that time when Corona, like everybody, he was just getting fights like short notice out of
Right.
nowhere.
Right.
So I was like, yeah, I was like, man, get back in the gym. Let's get back to doing our sprints just so in case anything happens, be ready for it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was basically the mindset. And then we got I think it was like 3 weeks or so later. Then we got our opponent, which is going to be actually in a move down to 185 because
Yeah.
the UFC said they want me to make that move if I can.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, you know what? Shit, let's do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Because that was eventually where we were planning to go. Like, since I started, like Coach Jamal, Master Lloyd, everyone they seemed like, you're a 185, right? I
Yeah.
was like,
Yeah. You're like, but
and
I'm
then as
not
time
though.
went on, like 185 in my head, I was like, so I'm like
Sounds right to you.
250
Yeah.
pounds right now. Yeah, it sounds good to you. Like, how y'all expect me to make that weight?
Yeah.
Then as time went on, had more as I built my understanding a little bit more on like how to train and eat healthy and take care of my body. It's like, okay, we
Yeah.
slowly made the move. Like you see, we've been taking fights on the 205 or heheavyweight. It didn't
Mhm.
matter. We were taking that. Once I saw I could make 205 and I ain't die making 205, it was like,
Right.
okay, you need to make that 185 move now. So
Yeah, for sure. No, yeah, the power that you have and the build that you have, 185, I definitely, you're definitely a problem at 185. Obviously
yeah,
not troubled getting wins at 205 either, you can tell.
nah,
But yeah,
yeah,
185 is yeah, you're gonna be a problem there for sure. And
yeah,
are you guys still using like the Lockhart stuff?
yeah. Lockhart, man.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
He's a
Working with
fucking
them is like,
genius, man.
yeah, it's a fucking exactly. Working with him is just like changed so much stuff that I was doing wrong, and like, I mean, hey, doing it the safer way. It's a lot safer, and you don't gotta worry too much about like missing weight because they'll tell you. They're like, can you make it? All you gotta do is be disciplined. and you good.
Yeah, I remember uh he used to train at the gym, so we always used to get to pick his brain. He did a seminar at one time at the gym too, and we were all the affiliates and coaches and stuff were and fighters were allowed to come to it. And I still have all the stuff I wrote down in my notebook that he told me. He's super smart. I think we're gonna do the we're gonna get Aaron like certified under his program soon,
Nice.
so she can even just do it for like our general
Mhm.
public people and stuff like that, like to help them eat better and live right and stuff like that. So yeah, he's super smart, man. Um,
Knows his stuff.
he's working with everybody now too. It's cool to see him. Uh, People find out how much knowledge he actually has because I felt like he was kind of like a secret when he was
At first,
at first, and then now I think he works with like Connor and everybody, man.
yeah,
He's out
yeah.
there.
And Tyson Fury, yeah, that's what he's working with now.
Tyson Fury, yeah, that's tight, man. He came up, and
Levels,
I
and
see a
levels.
lot of people that are certified under him too, or even I like pop up on my timeline and stuff that are,
Hmm.
Lockhart and Leith, I think it is.
Yeah.
They have people are getting certified and doing all that stuff too, which is awesome. Um, Tell me about this next fight that you got coming up.
Oh yeah, got a fight May 8th against damn, I'm about to butcher his name, so I'm not even gonna say it.
Yeah, a guy.
I'm horrible with names. A guy. Um, May 8th is 185, so just getting ready for that right now. Just I mean, getting the weight off and just basically breaking down everything we know about him
It's probably
to
nice
get
to
ready
have
for
some
it.
of that. That's a good amount of time to know about somebody and be able to
Oh
get
yeah,
ready and lose the weight and stuff. That's pretty good. 'Cause it's not always
exactly.
like that these days, man. Sometimes,
Uh,
you got to take those short notice ones and be ready
yeah,
and stuff like that. So I feel like a full on camp like that's kind of a blessing sometimes.
yeah, it is definitely, man. Because I need it. I just need to keep my
Yeah.
keep that weight down once after the fight, so I can be prepared for them last minute
Yeah, make it a little
jumps like that.
easier, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I'm
That's
gonna do a
dope.
better job of it. That
Uh with I know it's tough cuz it's like when you're coming up, you're kind of bouncing back and forth between striking and MMA. And I know you love striking too. Do you ever wish you could still go back and forth between the two?
Oh yeah, man. That's what I was thinking too. Cause like lion fights, I wish I would have had a lot more fights in there too.
Yeah.
As a good experience. Like I just saw what's his name? Steve put him to sleep. He just fought like last
Brian
Friday.
Collette.
Yeah, yeah.
Did you watch those? I was gonna ask you about
That
that.
dope finish, huh?
Dude.
Yeah.
You did watch the lion fights this weekend? Or
I
did
didn't
you see
watch
the
all of it. I was
highlights?
actually looking to see his fight, but then I got busy. So, but
Yeah.
I just saw the highlights after that. Man, he's a dude. Is a monster, man.
It was wild because well, the highlight was pretty much the fight. I mean, that was all like
That was it.
within
That
the
was the
first like
first round.
yeah, it was first round.
Dang.
He
Sheesh.
came out, caught him with the hook, rocked him. I
Yeah.
think they gave him an 8 count. Then he caught him with a head kick and rocked him again, and then he did the tornado, hit him with the tornado joint. I was so I wasn't. I've seen all of Steve's fights pretty much because we were always up there too at
Hmm.
the shows watching him fight. I know Bill
Yeah.
hit from Hard Knocks that he comes from, and I feel like in a lot of his fights in Lion Fight, he had been fighting like other like some MMA fighters and some other guys and stuff like that. So, and he had been just sleeping everybody. Um, but this was like I was like, okay, because I know because Brian and Luther fought, and Brian beat Luther pretty quickly because he caught him
Hmm.
with a head kick and just sometimes the light when that curtain comes down, that's just it.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Um, and Brian is a fucking monster. Like he's fought some of the best fighters in Glory, and um, I was like, okay, this is gonna be like a big test for
Right.
Steve. You know what I mean? Like this is gonna
Yeah.
show where he's really at, and yeah, he just came right out the gate and kind of caught Brian and just finished them off and stuff. I was like, holy shit. So
Yeah,
yeah, he solidified things for himself
definitely.
there in that one.
Yeah. That's how I mean. Like, when I first seen that, I was like, man, damn. I definitely wish I would have had some more lion fight fights or being able to switch between the two. But I
Yeah.
mean, I'm here. I'm where I'm at. I
Yeah.
did. That's what was my initial plan too. But then, like, Master Lloyd was like, "You want to be an MMA fighter? You gonna do MMA?" He
Yeah.
took me
No.
off. He took me
Yeah,
off
it
of that.
makes sense. It makes sense. And I mean, the thing is, like, I think it's a little different too coming out of Lloyd's because like Lloyd can get you to the UFC. So if you're in the UFC, then for even though it's like the desire is there, it does make more sense to focus on your UFC career. But it does
Right.
it's kind of like I mean they haven't really done it in a long time now, but they attempted to Bellator have MMA and kickboxing and allow their fighters to kind of switch back and forth between the two.
Uh,
Uh, My my homeboy Gaston Bolaños, good friend of mine, trains at CSA gym. He switches back and forth. Was
yeah.
primarily a Muay Thai and kickboxer, WMC Muay Thai champion. Fought at IFMA. I mean, he's known for his Muay Thai and kickboxing, but made the transition into MMA and is fighting for Bellator and stuff like that. Um, but I feel like it's nice to be able to switch back and forth a little.
Hmm.
I almost wish that UFC would like acquire somebody or something so then they could make it like a thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Dana knows what makes money and
He
what
does.
people
He
are
does.
paying to tune in and watch. So he's doing what he knows is gonna work. um yeah. You're a vicious striker though, man. I remember because I do matchmaking. I have the show Rise that we sometimes run in DC,
Hmm.
and have been a matchmaker for a bunch of other shows. Have always done matchmaking behind the scenes for a lot of shows people wouldn't even know. Like they'll hit me up and say, "Hey man, you know anybody that could fight this guy?" So I'm always trying to like help out, and
Yeah.
I feel like I recommended people hit you up for a bunch of fights like back before you were
Oh
on the
yeah.
UFC. I was like, man, you should hit up this dude Tafon, man. I'm telling you, to get him on whenever they needed like a bigger guy and stuff.
Yeah.
So there was always some fights out there. I was like, oh, I hope it happens. I'd love to see that fight.
Yeah.
But
I
yeah, you just
appreciate that, man.
of
Yeah.
course, yeah, absolutely, man. But yeah, we'll just have to tune in to the UFC fights and watch you do your thing there, make this title
Oh
run,
yeah,
baby.
man. They gonna see it. They gonna see it, man. You gonna
That's
climb up
it.
them ranks.
That's
Hey, they
it.
don't. They still don't. They still don't know everything yet.
Oh
They're
no.
slowly gonna start seeing it, man. I still
No.
have a lot more to show.
Yeah.
And,
They haven't seen, man, the boxing. Y'all don't understand the boxing, y'all. I'm telling you.
hey,
I feel like you guys have got a
pause,
taste of
man.
it, yeah, but the boxing is I've been super impressed the improvements you've made on that over the years. Even when I seen it
Thank
like
you.
sparring with Luther, I was like, holy shit. I was like, this dude's like pro level boxing, man. You
Thank you.
really are for sure.
Yeah,
Like
thank you. Thank
you could definitely fight some pro level boxing fights 100%. And that's
you.
not
Yeah,
always the case with all MMA fighters that you have good striking. That doesn't mean you're a good boxer, but you're a great
correct.
boxer
Yeah,
too.
it's the
Yeah.
difference. Yeah,
Hmm.
definitely. Thank you. Thank you.
Because so when you guys got a new boxing coach over there now too, right? Or you guys
Oh
been working?
yeah.
Yeah, tell me about that.
Coach Keith, man. Coach Keith, man. Hey, it's awesome, man. Being able to work with someone like that who's like, I mean, won multiple world championships
Uh-huh.
is like so much knowledge, man. That's like this another thing added to our group. We already got Max Law, we got Coach
Yeah.
Jamal, we got
Yeah.
someone. It's like, man, it's just knowledge coming from everywhere, man. It's like his style too is like he does a lot of things different, but he that's one thing I love about like the coaching staff that they make sure to explain everything that they show and
Yeah.
like they always have access for you for your if you have any questions.
Yeah.
And like man, it's super dope, man. Dude, he's bringing so much more like ideas into my head. Just the way he breaks down everything he does. It's like man, it makes it click. It can be something that someone has already showed me, but like I
Mhm.
was having a problem with. But like he has his own way of putting it, and then like I can put in the image in your head.
No, I
So I feel
understand.
like just from like the short time that I've worked with him, like man, this my game has improved to like a whole different level.
Yeah.
And like I'm looking forward to keep working with him, man. Soon it's like soon y'all gonna be seeing some wild stuff out there,
Yeah.
man. Y'all just wait, man.
You got
Just
some new
wait.
tricks up your sleeve.
I do. I got a whole bunch of new tricks to pull
That's
out.
fire. I'm excited to
Yeah.
see, man. Yeah, I definitely understand what you're saying because from the coach's perspective, have also have witnessed it like where I'll like tell my my fighters like over and over again certain things, and then I'll
Mhm.
have like somebody come out and do a seminar, and then they'll like come up to me later and they'll be like, coach, like I'm like, motherfucker, I told you that 1,000 times. But you got to understand that like
Yeah.
people receive information different ways
Yeah.
or from different people or whatever, sometimes even
Hmm.
just the perception you have of the person that you're hearing it from changes
Hmm.
the way you accept the information
Yeah,
too.
take
So
that.
yeah, you just got to be happy they got it from wherever they got it from,
Exactly.
so
Yeah.
that's dope, man. I definitely get that. It's what's happened with the most is Dorian, because Dorian and I have
Oh
a
yeah.
lot of really similar things, and he'll come
Uh-huh.
out and do I bring him out for a seminar every chance I get, and because a lot of the times he is like kind of reinforcing stuff that I show, but these guys like a lot of it they'll like they hear it from Dorian, so they're like, oh, I'm gonna start doing this. I'm like, all right, cool,
Yeah.
man. I don't even say shit. I'm like, hell yeah, do that shit. Fuck,
Yeah,
make sure
yeah.
you use it. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
that's
Yeah.
awesome. And then you got the Square Fit Pro. Y'all
Oh
do that
man.
stuff too, man. That shit is
Oh my
awesome
gosh.
looking.
It is, man. It's this shit is a workout. And like
Super.
it's it's good because everything he does like kind of like this applies and like molds into what we do already, the
Yeah.
footwork part especially. And like man, he dude is he's crazy as heck too, man. Because those workouts we do them like super early in the morning
Yeah.
at like 6, and he already has a class prior to that, and his
Damn.
energy is already like. I'm like, man, did you go to sleep? Why you have so
I
much energy?
Yeah, dude.
He's like killing it in there, man.
I can
It's
feel it through his Instagram. I can feel that
yeah,
energy, man. He's
yeah, that's
awesome.
that square fit right there, man. You
Yeah.
should check it out if whenever you get a chance. Definitely recommend that to anybody out
Yeah. I thought about reaching out to him about doing so it's funny because I have like this super weird shape that I tape down on the floor sometimes for me to do like all the footwork patterns that I try to teach our fighters, and I hadn't
there.
taped one down yet here in the new facility, and then I started seeing your guys' videos and I was like, damn, I got to tape this thing back down somewhere so I can make sure our people are getting their footwork stuff again. But yeah, I love
Right.
it. Every time I love watching the videos. I love seeing y'all interact with him and stuff like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
Square Fit Pro. I'll pop up the Instagram on here so you guys can give them a follow too. Make sure you guys check them out.
Definitely. Check it out. Check it
Super
out.
dope, man. I love the work. People don't to me that's like I feel like a lot of times people talk about boxing but they think punches, and I'm like, man, boxing
Hmm.
is footwork, boxing is strategy,
Yeah.
and then punches.
Yeah.
And that's yeah. So what you guys are doing is clearly paying off because you have great positioning in your fights. I think that's another thing that people don't really understand, which also and because Sadiq does that too. And I also feel like that comes a little bit from having some knowledge in jujitsu where you understand like I got to get to certain positions before I
Right.
attack,
Yeah.
and don't know how to apply that standing up. So I think having that base knowledge of grappling, even when you're standing up, you're like, well, I got to get right here before I throw this because that's when it's really going to be devastating.
All plays together. Definitely.
Yeah. It's like show in your kick. I know that kick that won you the contender series. I know you said you guys had been
Yeah.
working on that specifically, and you you,
Hmm.
you know you were waiting for that perfect time, waiting for him to step off to your left, and you're like, oh, there he is.
Right.
Boop.
Yep. Just guided his head right into it. Just say, hold on.
Yeah, that
Here's the
joint was
free trip to
smooth.
my
There you
foot.
go. Yeah, no choice but to eat this kick, buddy.
Uh-huh.
Nah,
Yep.
that joint
Yep.
was vicious, man. So what do you
Thank
do
you.
when you're not trying? I know you guys train like crazy over there. Well, you train like professionals. That's what I should say.
Yeah.
You guys train the way a professional should train. What are you doing when you're not training?
Uh, honestly, like sleeping and just watching like anime
Thinking
or
about training.
yeah, basically. 'Cause sometimes now I try not to like I try to separate it when it's time for me to just
Yeah,
rest, but then like that mental training part of it too is what I'm trying to implement a little bit more. And like
absolutely.
so I just like visualize my drills and in my head. It makes it easier when I want to like enforce it or put it into play.
Yeah.
So I've been trying to do that too, but mostly when I'm having my free time, I'm playing video games or like watching shows or whatever.
That's awesome. So I
Now that the
literally
weather's getting better, who knows, man? I might go out and just go out into the woods and stuff,
walk around a little
walk, go
bit,
for
do
like a
some
walk around.
exploring.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's always dope.
yep, yep,
This area is there's some good places for that around this area too.
yeah. There
So
is.
that's funny because I literally everything you just said, I'm about to
Hmm.
ask you about too. So that's great.
Oh, okay,
All right.
dope.
So what's your favorite anime right now?
Oh, right now, Jujutsu Kaisen. That's the one
Hmm.
I'm really excited about, and Attack on Titan is pretty dope right now.
Yeah.
There's like a it's a couple of good ones right now, man.
Yeah.
But Jujutsu Kaisen is the one I would say right now. It's like I'm super excited about.
So my co-host Roger, he's not on with us today, but he's been like on me. He's like
Yeah.
literally like every couple of days he's like, "Have you started Jujutsu Kaisen yet?" And I'm like, "I know, man. I'm
Oh,
slacking. I'm sorry."
you got to, man.
And he's because he sent me the clip from the Crunchyroll had their best fights of the year or whatever, and
Yeah.
uh, that joint won or it got second place. Um, but he roped me in because
Hmm.
Kakashi from Naruto is like my favorite guy, and
Yeah, yeah.
they got the
Oh,
one guy that kind of looks.
they
He's
got
like,
the
"This
yeah,
is
yeah. I know you're
Kakashi," so
talking
I was
about.
like, "All
Yeah,
right,
that
you
dude
got
is
me." I was like,
OP as hell right here.
"Yeah,
Basically, that dude is OP as hell right now. But
yeah,
she,
yeah,
he's a, it's an
that's
interesting
fire."
character.
All right, yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
they do
just
have some dope ass fight scenes, man. That's the thing that kind of got me hooked too. The fight scenes are freaking spectacular.
that's what Roger was telling me. He was like, "Man, trust me." So I'm like, "All right, I'm gonna try to bang some out this week so we can start talking about
Yeah,
it on the
yeah, you should,
podcast and
man.
stuff too." Yeah, I've been
Yeah.
hearing nothing but good things, and yeah, that's he said that's one of his favorites right now, also. And
Hmm.
it's still kind of new, so I should be able to catch up pretty quick.
Oh yeah, for the anime, yeah, but the manga's already been out for like a minute.
So
But
that
the
was
anime
that's
is still pretty new.
that's my next question.
Yeah.
Are you reading any comics or mangas right now?
Yeah, yeah. I'm keeping up with Demon Slayer and also
Okay,
My Hero Academia.
nice.
It's thing getting crazy in there. I don't know,
Yeah,
I ain't gonna drop no spoilers or whatever,
yeah,
but
yeah.
and then also what's it called? Kaiju. Is this one is still pretty new, but
Okay.
Kaiju and some other stuff that I'm reading. I got a list of stuff whenever I can. I read.
That's what's up. I think I watched the first. So we talked about this a little bit a couple weeks ago about anime. So I'm older, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But I as a teenager I watched anime. I watched anime heavy, like Ninja Scroll,
Oh, nice.
like all the old ones. This one,
Yeah, yeah.
Dark City, Akira, obviously, the
Hmm.
Ghost in the Shell, and then they had like the Ghost in the Shell series. They had like Yu Yu Hakusho, Hajime no Ippo. Like, so I watched all the like
Yeah, the
old
old ones. Yeah.
original joints, you know.
Right.
And but what was crazy was like Ninja Scroll, like all those, even if you just look right at the cover, like it's all like adult looking, like you could kind of tell it's like so what I was telling Roger like for like Naruto and a lot of the ones that have come out beyond that when I originally
Hmm.
would like see it because it was like kids and stuff like that. I was like, I thought it was like a kids show. So that
Yeah,
was why I
yeah.
kind of skipped them and I didn't, and then it took me forever to like kind of come around. And then I started watching some of them. I was like, fuck, I've been messing up because I didn't realize I just
Yeah.
thought they're just young right now and they're gonna grow up or whatever.
Yeah,
And
grow up with it.
so
Yeah.
now I'm like trucking through I got really hooked on Naruto and then
Oh, Naruto is dope, man. That's
that's
my all-time favorite right there.
yeah, man, it's so good, man. I can't believe I'm kicking myself that I've been bullshitting. I actually already made. I'll send you one of I did a long sleeve with the Shotgun on the
Oh,
back,
nice.
a level
I
up
think I
shirt.
saw that one on
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, I think I saw that. Yeah, that's
I'll bring
dope.
you one. I'll bring you one down. I'll
Oh,
drop one
bet.
down at the gym or
I
something. Yeah.
appreciate it, man. That
Yeah,
would be dope.
so you can flex on them. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so I was like, now that I'm cruising through the Nardo stuff, I'm like, all right, I'm
Hmm.
gonna be make you'll see, it'll probably pop up on a lot of
Some
my
cool
designs
stuff.
now.
Nice, nice, nice.
But yeah, he was so but that was the thing he was saying too. He was like the Jujutsu Kaisen joint. He was like, it's more like the
Hmm.
stuff that you watch when you were younger. He's like, it's serious, it's all adult, like right away and stuff like that. I was like, oh, all right, that's cool. And I was like, my mind's changed on all that stuff too. Like I just had to watch some of it. I just didn't realize I had made an
Exactly.
assumption, you know.
Got you hooked. Yeah.
I'm hooked, man. And like I said, I was obsessed when I was a kid. Like when I was a teenager, I was my boys hated a bunch of my boys like hated that shit because I would always pop in Ninja Scroll. I was obsessed with. I watched that one
Hmm.
probably a million times, and I would always put it in. They'd be like, "Oh man, I'm tired of watching this shit." And I was always looking for a new movie to check out. Back then, there wasn't as much coming out as there is now. I feel like, or it was
Yeah.
harder to get a hold of at least. Are you a gamer? Do you play video games too?
Oh yeah, man. I used to be a huge gamer, but then as one of the little sacrifices I had to make doing this whole
Ain't no
thing, man,
time
it's
for
like,
it, man.
hey, there will be time, and when it does come, shit, yeah, yeah, they ain't gonna be seeing me out in these streets.
Yeah.
I'm gonna lock myself in the house and play as much as I want. But
Hell
for right
yeah.
now, that's one thing I know I had to give up because I basically had an addiction. Man. I was playing everything. I barely went to sleep. Like sometimes, like uh, uh, earlier in my career, it's like I'll leave training, and if I'm not going to work, I'm just gonna go home and play video games, and then not even get no sleep. Maybe like
Yeah.
30 minutes to an hour before I go back to train.
Yep.
And it's like I had to sit down, think, and be like, "Hey, man, this is not healthy.
It's hard
Need
though.
my
Cause
rest."
I was the same way.
Yeah,
I used to be whatever game I was on that shit. As soon as I got home, that's what I wanted to do. I actually the last console I bought for myself was PS3. That's how long it's
mhm,
been since. And then
yeah,
I had been talking about it, and my wife actually bought me a PS4 a few years ago for my birthday
yeah.
because I think because she actually she likes the game.
Nice.
Um, yeah, her whole man, her whole family, her mom, like her mom
Mhm,
is
yeah.
literally gets off work and is on Xbox like immediately. Her
Oh, what?
sister, her
See, that's gonna be
nephews.
me when I'm. Okay.
Yeah, it's kind
That's
of
gonna
tight.
be
I'm like,
me.
holy shit, because
That's
I'm like,
dope.
this probably might be
Yeah,
the first woman on earth who won't be mad at me if I come home and just want to jump on the video games,
nice.
you know.
That's
But
dope,
then
man.
it is pretty dope. But it's funny because now I'm like I know myself, like you said, it being an addiction.
Mhm,
I've been like staying away from it because I once I get
yeah,
sucked into a game, like I can't. It's
yeah,
hard, you
yeah.
know
I'm
what
the
it's
same.
like when
Always looking for it.
the first one that got me, well, the when the Spider-Man joint came out, what, a year or two
Mhm.
ago, I was on that super heavy, and I was like, all right, stop, don't get no more games for a while. And then Ghost of Tsushima came out, and I was like, I got to play
Mm.
that. I
I've
gotta
seen
play
that. I've
that.
seen a whole lot of like trailers of that. That thing looks so good, man.
It's super tight,
If I
man.
buy that, it's over.
It
It's
is, man.
they're
You're
not
gonna
gonna
get
see me in the
sucked
gym
in.
for like a week.
Cause
I'm on. I'm on.
that's one of those ones that's a problem because you got
Yeah,
like free roam and you can. I feel like
yeah.
those are the ones where you're just like, all right,
And
I
I'm one of
gotta.
those OC people. Like if I see, I have to complete every single side quest. I don't care what it is.
Me
I
too.
gotta clear that. It's like I don't know. It's like an
Everything.
internal like
Yeah.
achievement type thing. Like when
Yeah.
I get a game, I'm trying to clear like every single, get all the trophies, everything.
Everything.
That's why
I'm
I
the
always end
same
up.
exact way, especially with one like
Yeah.
that, because I'm like obsessed with, as you can see, samurai and ninja culture. Like that's, I've
Hmm.
been, I got the t-shirt company called Urban Ninja. Like that's all my life I've been
Nice.
obsessed with that. So
Yeah.
that this game was like that, and Spider-Man were like me being able to like live out what I really wanted to do with myself
Yeah.
all my life
You want
pretty
to be a
much.
superhero or a samurai?
Or samurai, yeah. So that
Yeah.
Ghost of Tsushima joint is like, I played through it. I think I
Yeah.
played through it twice really quick, and then they just added New Game Plus after I'd already beat it twice, and I was like, "Fuck, now I gotta play it again." So I could start off with all my shit.
Yeah.
It's tight, man. Yeah, definitely jump on that when you get a chance, but
Oh,
you're gonna get
definitely, man.
sucked
This
in
this
for
gonna be a
sure.
time.
Yeah.
And when I do make my comeback, I'm probably gonna be hopping on that PS5.
Mhm.
getting on it right now. I mean, I got the Oculus Quest. I mean, that one is like
Oh shit.
that joint is tough. The Quest 2,
Yeah.
yeah, man. I was because I had the option to get that or the PS5, but PS5 was not, there was nowhere to be found.
Right.
So I got the Oculus Quest. I'm like, you know what, this is a pretty cool experience. And
That's
since I've
tight.
got it, man, whenever I can, I'm on there.
Yeah.
It's so immersive. It's crazy.
Man, so they have a what is it? Star Wars like Rogue Squadron joint that I want to check out. And I guess you gotta
Yeah.
get the PS5 VR set, but that shit looks fire because you're like flying the Star Wars
Yeah.
ships and all that. I was like, man,
Uh-huh.
I gotta get on that. But that's another thing I want
Yeah.
to get sucked into. So I
Oh my
haven't
God, man.
yeah, I haven't gotten I haven't gotten the PS5 yet either. Again, obviously because they weren't. I probably would have if they were like more accessible, just
Hmm.
because. But I'm also kind of like, all right, if you get it, you're gonna want to get on it. Um, I almost bought one off StockX the other day because they had one for like, I think it
Oh,
was like 650, so it's only like $150 more. So I'm like, at this point,
people were making come ups from that. This selling
bro,
out here 1,200. I'm like, dang,
in
that's crazy.
back when the PS3 dropped,
Yeah.
they did the same thing, and so I have a first gen PS3 because you couldn't get them. So people were
Yeah.
buying them and they were selling for 2,000. They're selling for
Yeah.
2,000. So, but the so many people did it that, and then they like did another like release. So not enough for everyone to get them, but it fucked that whole like resale market up enough to where I was able to talk a buddy of mine that had like 6 of them into selling me one for like 900. So I paid 900 for my PS3. Um
Damn.
but the other thing was, so back then the Blu-ray
Yeah.
players were $1,000. So you couldn't get a Blu-ray player by itself
Oh,
was
okay.
$1,000. So I'm like, all right, well fuck it, because I'm like, I if I wanted to watch Blu-rays, I'm gonna have to pay
Yeah,
a
you
thousand
can.
dollars anyway. So at least I get the PS3. It's a Blu-ray player, $900.
Yeah.
Cool, I'm in there. But it ended up being a smart move too, because the PS3 is also backwards compatible. That first gen PS3 plays PS2 games.
Nice.
So mine's fucked up again, so I need to take it and go get it fixed. But I have like I'll hit you up when we do it. But so that there's
Okay.
a K1 Grand Prix kickboxing game for PS2 that's the
Oh,
best
for real?
fighting game of all times. There's never been a better
Oh
fighting game
shit.
than this joint. And it's all a
Oh dang.
heavyweight. So like Remy Bonjanski, Francisco Filho, like all the dope heavyweights from back, the Simi Shield.
Right. I
It's
didn't
the
even know about that.
man. I'll send you a link to the
All right.
gameplay when we get
Yeah,
off of
bet.
here.
Shoot that my way.
So you got, because you got 4 buttons, you got your both arm, both leg. So if you know how
Right,
to
right.
fight, like you can fuck people up on that game, because you can like jab jab cross, jab jab low kick, and you can
Uh-huh.
control where the kick goes. So you can go the leg, body, or head. And then you got like a regular power bar, and then next to that there's like a little, it looks like the outline of a body, and it's all green.
Hmm.
And if you've been like working the legs, it'll turn yellow, and then it'll turn red, and they're like close to like a low kick, um 8
Finish.
count. They'll get it.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
could get finished or it could get an 8 count. So it's like you're like, really, if you know fighting, like you can
Hey,
like,
yeah, you're really,
and
yeah,
then
you
it
can really
and
get
then it
into it.
has flash knockouts sometimes too. So sometimes you'll just catch somebody clean. It's like KO. So it's super fucking exciting.
Yeah, you gotta
But
send me that link. I
man,
want to check
I'll
that out.
send you a link to the video so you can see it. But I
Okay.
still have the game, and I'm gonna go get my PS3 fixed, and I'm gonna start running some K1 tournaments here, video game joint. We'll do it here at the gym
Oh, that's
just for fun.
hilarious.
Yeah, I feel like it would be tight. Well, I
Yeah,
might even like try to live stream it for the channel for here or something too. We'll try to
yeah.
get a bunch of
You can
fighters
have a
out
smoker
here.
and you can have a little smoker and then have that right there.
Yeah,
People
that
fighting
shit'll
by
be
the smoke.
dope, man. So I think it'll be fun.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a man, it's a sick ass game. One of my favorite games of all time for sure. So
Mhm.
I gotta get my PS3 back working again so I can pop that thing in. Do you have a favorite video game of all time?
Of all time, it would have to probably be like the GTA series or like the Red Dead Redemption. I was waiting for that
Yeah.
the Red Dead Redemption 2, but then that was like during the time when I stopped like playing video games that much. So I was like, man, should I go get this game and not really get to enjoy it? So I was
Yeah.
like, those are the best of all time. Yeah, GTA. Was it Vice City? Which one was the one I played? Was it Liberty City? Can't remember. It was out of Vice City or Liberty City. Those
Yeah,
two right
both
there.
of those are fucking great. I love both of those games. The Red Dead Redemption, the like the first one that
First
came
one.
out on
Yeah.
PS2, man, that was my shit. And I was like obsessed with that game. I like that one too because I got good at the headshots. So that was like tight when you
Mhm.
just pop and their hat would pop off,
Yeah.
and yeah, that was sick. I got the new one too for PS4, and
PS4.
I got deep into it. For some reason it didn't catch me like the first one did. I think
Hmm.
there's like so like I like having a lot to do, like you said, and I'm a completionist, but there was
Hmm.
like you had to like figure out a lot of the shit. So I didn't catch me for some reason for this one,
Yeah.
like Ghost of Tsushima did. But I'm telling you, Ghost of Tsushima is like Red Dead, but with samurais.
Yeah.
It's like
I
has
seen it.
that similar vibe.
I'm definitely looking to get that when I get a chance.
You can jump on the horse and just ride around, check shit out, do
Nice.
side missions. Like sometimes you just run into like bandits and shit and gotta chop them down. It's so super tight. Are you a big movie guy? Do you like watch a lot of movies and stuff?
Oh yeah, I watch a lot of movies, man. It's think what was it? One of my favorite movies of all time, Sound of Music, I
Oh
would
shit.
say.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Because I mean, it's I would say favorite because like it's like nostalgia. That was like one of the only movies I had like back in Cameroon when I was there. So every
Yeah,
time I hear a little song from it, that's why I would say that would be like all time that one because I have so many memories.
that's tight. I was gonna ask you what was your favorite. That's awesome. Yeah, it's funny how like certain ones from your childhood just kind of stick with you forever.
Mhm.
Uh
Yeah.
I definitely get that vibe. I have a lot of movies like that since I I grew up in the 80s. I feel like there's a lot of like old 80s like cheesy movies that
Yeah.
I feel like I put them on sometimes and Aaron's like, "Oh, and I'm like, I know, I'm sorry. I got to watch this joint again. It's so good. It's so good. It sucks cuz there's some movies from the 80s back then that you can't like I can't get anymore. There's this one joint called Young Blood. I still have it on DVD, but I have to like go
Hmm.
through the work of like finding the DVD in my collection and then putting it in. And I'm so used to I do everything through my Apple TV
Going through
now.
the
So
apps. Yeah,
yeah, it's
right.
just quick. I'm just like boop boop boop, and then I can watch it. This is not on any streaming apps at all. It's called Young Blood. It was a hockey movie. It was so tight, man. Dude, Rob Lowe was in it. Keanu Reeves, like back
Yeah.
before he
Oh.
was like really anybody, Patrick Swayze, man, it's vicious. It's a super good one. Hopefully they get it up on something someday so I can not have to
Nice,
dig through my
nice.
DVDs. Uh do you have a movie you can just watch over and over again, like you never get sick of besides Sound of Music?
I don't know. I'm not like a person that like rewatch stuff a lot. I
Mhm.
mean, I haven't found anything. I mean, I'll watch it if it's like right there, but like to go back and just rewatch as
Yeah,
many
some people are
times.
like that, some people aren't.
Yeah, I need to be like I want to be able to do that. It's just sometimes it's like once I watch it, I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah, yeah.
I
I
know it.
feel I feel bad because I think some people are like that and some people aren't. I'll if I like something, I'll watch it like a million times. Not
Yeah.
I'll get sick of it eventually and move on to something else, but in between waiting for new stuff, sometimes I'll watch it
Mhm.
luckily Spider-Verse, Aaron really liked that one too. I think I watched that one about 15 million times at this point.
Dang.
I love that movie, man. That shit. So did you ever see that Spider-Verse?
Yeah, yeah. I saw the Spider. This is a great movie.
It's
Yeah,
super good, man. They did such
it's
a
super
good job
good.
with that. It's got a lot of heart and
I'm
stuff.
waiting for the next one. I think it
Yeah,
says like
dude.
coming out.
That's the only thing that sucks about sometimes those animation ones. They're like they take so long to make that you gotta wait a long time before you can see it.
Yeah.
But that shit was vicious. And that I know that they put a thing the other day talking about I'm sure eventually they're gonna do a Miles Morales live action in the like the MCU or the Sony universe. I feel like they got
Nice.
to.
They
And
have to. Yeah.
now it's like I'm trying to think like, okay, who would be good to
A
play
good
him?
arc.
'Cause
Yeah.
I watched Spider-Verse so many times
Mhm.
that now I just hear Shamik's voice, the guy who did his voice, who was
Ah,
from like Dope and
uh-huh.
he was in Cutthroat City. He actually played Raekwon in the Wu-Tang TV show. I really, really, really like him as an actor. But he doesn't really have the look of Miles, you know, because Miles is supposed
Miles,
to
right.
be mixed. Um, so yeah, so it's like then they're definitely gonna have to get somebody different. But I'm gonna be like, man, he don't sound like Shamik. So it'll be interesting to see who they end up picking for that. Man,
Yeah, that's
that's
dope.
pretty much all I got for you, brother. I I really do appreciate you coming on. I wanted to go through the fight journey a little bit
Oh yeah.
and then talk some. I know you got some nerdness in you like me, so I wanted to make sure we hit some of those questions at the
Oh
end.
yeah.
Uh
Always fun.
I feel like people don't realize one of the most common things that we have in this world is that we're all like comics,
Yeah,
anime, manga,
exactly.
movies, video games. I feel like it's an exciting little thing for us because people don't realize that a lot of times like right after training you would think everybody's gonna be in there talking about fighting and we're usually talking about a cartoon or
Yeah, cartoon. Yeah, yeah, definitely.
I think people would be
That's definitely one
surprised.
thing I've noticed about this throughout my years, man. A lot of us definitely big into
It's tight, man. I love that
it. It
about
is.
this. Yeah, because it makes you feel good to be like a nerd a little bit, and you're like,
Uh-huh. You
and
can
what's
fuck
anybody
somebody
gonna
up.
do about it too?
Exactly. Yeah. It's like some tough ass nerds out here, man.
Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, I'm actually gonna. It sucks because with all the pandemic stuff going on, I was planning to start setting up booths at like Otacon here in Baltimore, and then
Oh,
Awesome
nice.
Con like for Level Up to kind of just
Yeah,
get
yeah,
the
yeah.
gym out there and send
That's
people
dope.
on cosplay and so hopefully when the world
I
opens
should
back up,
definitely do that.
I'm trying to do that because
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I said, I feel like the people I connect with the most are people that want to fight
Mm-hmm.
and are into all
Yeah,
that stuff. And I think sometimes a lot of those people don't realize like they're like you can fight too. Like you don't just because you read
exactly.
comic books and stuff. So I feel like it'll be a
Yeah,
good way to like let people know if we start setting up booths at some of
exactly.
those places, you know.
Oh yeah, that's a good dope ass idea.
And
Yeah,
it'll just
because
be
I've seen
fun.
like a couple of them that I've gone to, they do have like little like people who book to come teach like martial arts and stuff.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, and I've never really gone to the room, but
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if I think I would do is probably just be out on like the regular floor with all the other vendors and stuff and just set up like a
right.
really vicious like video game, comic, anime looking booth and have
Yeah.
some cosplayers and like Street Fighter stuff or something maybe and then
So you know this guy?
yeah.
I could teach you how to fight just like him.
Yeah. Didn't you always want to be Sagat or Balrog? You
Yep,
know what I mean? And then yeah, I
got
think
that.
so. And I do feel like having the name Level Up has brought a lot of
Mhm.
people from that
Yeah,
world because I feel like they're like, oh, that's like
yeah.
a
It's a
video
catchy.
game
Yeah,
type
it's a
thing, you
very
know?
catchy name. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a beacon, you know? It's like, yeah,
Hmm.
this is a safe place for nerds. Learn how to fight. We got you.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
it's been kind of cool. So yeah, so if you want to shout out any friends, family, sponsors, go ahead and do that, brother, and then I'll let you get out of here and let you get back to your day.
Shout out. Well, I guess I gotta shout out that drip, the big line drip.
Yeah,
You can go check out my drip on Tafon the Don.com. And other
I'll
than
put
that,
that
I'm
up.
also on YouTube. You know, trying to make some content out here. Y'all can check that out as well. And thank you, Jason, for having me on here, man. It was a pretty fun
Yeah,
conversation.
I appreciate it, man. I
Yeah,
knew it
man.
would be. You're a hell of a guy, man. Got great personality, awesome fighter.
Thank
Obviously,
you,
we're
thank
into some of the same stuff.
you.
I'll you guys can find his YouTube channel link, the link to the website and social media stuff will all be in the description. So make sure you
Yep.
guys give him a follow, subscribe to the YouTube channel. You make some great content. I always love all your videos and stuff like that. So
Thank you, man. Thank
yeah,
you.
give him a follow and a like and a subscribe. Hit that bell so you know when those new videos drop. And get
Mm-hmm.
yourself a shirt too, man. Go on
Yep,
there
get
and
that shirt, the drip, drip.
there it is right there. All right, boss
Thank you,
man. Well,
man.
hey, we'll catch up again soon, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Talk to you later.
All right, brother. Peace.